Okay, so thank you again, Naomi, and we are moving to our song. So we chose the song for today. Yesterday was May 1st. And you know, as all of us are working people, none of us are lady gayers, I think. So I thought it's good. So the story connects to the song connects to the story. So you will see. So Michael, please, can you put the song? Yeah.
Brüder und Schwester von Arbeit und Neut, alle von seinen zu seid und zu spreit, zusammen, zusammen, die von sie's gerät, sie flattert von Zorn, von Blut ist sie reit, a Schwur, auf Leben und Tod. Brüder und Schwester von Arbeit und Neut, alle was seinen zu seid und zu spreit, zusammen, zusammen, die von sie's gerät, sie flattert von Zorn, vom Blut ist sie reit, a Schwur, auf Leben und Tod. Himmel und Erde uns als Herren, jedes wird sein, die lichtige Sterne, a Schwur von Tränen, wir schweren, a Freiheit und Grenzen zum Bund. Doch erkennt die Sklaven befreien Zund, sein von die Reute, is heuch und is breit, wir schweren in Freiheit, auf Leben und Tod, a Schwur, auf Leben und Tod. Brüder und Schwester von Arbeit und Neut, alle was seinen zu seid und zu spreit, zusammen, zusammen, die von sie's gerät, sie flattert von Zorn, vom Blut ist sie reit, a Schwur, auf Leben und Tod.
Okay, let's start to read the introduction. It will give us, you know, the right, I don't know how to say it.
Background.
The right reference about what we are reading and what. So let's, Janet, you're with us. Can you start reading the English?
Guten Morgen. Most Jews in Tsarist Russia were apolitical, but there were Jews just as there were non-Jews who hoped for a democratic government, or at least a constitutional monarchy. And there were Jews who shared with non-Jews the dream of a society where extremes of wealth and grinding poverty did not exist. Those ideals inspired political action, and there were many political parties in the 1880s and 1890s that were working for those ideals. Some Jews joined those movements when they could, but when they weren't permitted to do so, or when Jewish activists thought it was more important for them to work specifically on behalf of Jews, they formed their own labor unions and movements.
Go on.
One of the most successful of these was the Bund, der Allgemeine Jiddische Arbeiterbund in Polen,
Mhm.
Leid und Russland.
Lite.
Danke. Und Russland, the General Jewish Workers Union in Poland, Lithuania, and Russia. It was founded in Vilna in 1897, and its philosophical aim was democratic socialism. In the meantime, it fought for the political rights of Jews, helped to organize unions, and led Jewish armed self-defense during the pogroms.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Andrew, can you continue, please? Andrew? But you are muted, Andrew.
Until the Nazi invasion, Jewish workers joined the Bund by the hundreds of thousands, despite the fact that it was periodically banned as an illegal organization. It ran soup kitchens for the poor and vocational training for the unemployed. It sponsored Yiddish language kindergartens, schools, newspapers, sports club, music groups, summer camps, health clinics, and the Medem Sanatorium for tuberculosis. It played a vital role in secular Jewish politics until the Nazis and Soviets destroyed it.
Go on, please.
And continue. In 1901,
Yes.
the ethnographer and playwright S. Ansky attended a meeting of Bundesexiles in Switzerland. He wrote the poem Die Sput, which was published in der Jiddischer Arbeiter, the Jewish Worker, and became the Bund's anthem. A number of Bundes immigrated to the US. Some of them helped found the early Jewish unions in the Arbeiter Ring, workman circles. They often sang Die Sput.
Okay, thank you. So, Henrietta, in honor of you and the Arbeitering, can you read? If there is a problem, Maurice will help you, okay? All of you are muted, so when I call on you, just please unmute yourself. Henrietta? You're muted, please. Can you unmute? Okay.
I lost connection. Are you talking to me?
Yes, please. I said in honor of the Arbeitering and of you being a member of the Arbeitering.
Yes, my father was a Bundist in Lutz, Poland, and my mother was a Bundist. And Harvey wiped out all my documentation, but they were written up in different articles for each one of them. And when they came to the United States, they became Arbeitering members, and I was raised in the Arbeitering family. And Yeshua is part of our songs.
Okay. So if you can read, Michael, I think that you jumped one slide.
All right.
Now, please.
Reader Schwester von Arbeiter und Neid. Alle was seinen zu Zeit und zu Spreit. Zusammen, die von
Is Henrietta, what happened?
von Bullet is die Zeit. Ashroa, auf Leben und Heut.
Can you translate it, or should Maurice do it?
Brothers and sisters, from work and from need, all that are spread and suspreit. Together,
There is a
The
problem with,
flag,
there is a problem with your microphone or something, Henrietta.
computer, it
we
tells me
cannot-
that my
I
connection
think
is
it's a bad
Yeah,
unstable.
it's probably so. Okay, Maurice, can you just translate it for us? Sorry, Henrietta, but we cannot hear all the sentence, okay?
Sure. Alle wo sinnen zu seit und zu spät. All the workers were spread out, were scattered and spread out. Zusammen, die von sie is great. Together, the flag is ready. Sie flattert von Zorn, von Blut ist sie heut. It waves, it flutters in rage. It's red from blood. Ashvua, auf Leben und Tod. An oath on life and death.
Okay, thank you. Rafael, yes?
Yeah, I just want to point out that the author Ansky was born in northern Belarus, and he used Litvish Yiddish, and we were talking about different versions of Yiddish. And one aspect of this is he would rhyme great with reit and tate. And so in his accent, it's not roit or toit, it's reit and tate. And that makes the rhyme work better.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Okay, let's continue. Paul? Paul, sorry, I was thinking of something. I need. Okay, Bob. But before you start reading, I see that Susan raised her hand. Susan, you are muted.
Okay, not only would that tell you the pronunciation that he was a Litvak, he probably was von Vilna, because that's where they had, for example, they would, instead of saying Moishe, they would say Meishe. And I guess instead of being Toit, it would be Tate.
Mhm.
That was not all Litvaks, that was specifically from Vilna.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks. Okay, Bob, can you read it?
Himmel und Unerd wird uns ausherren. Erdos wird sein die lichtige Sterne. Aschwur von Tränen mit Schwän, mehr Schwän. Interesting ending. Heaven and earth will hear us. The stars will witness, will light our way. What?
No, Maurice?
No, it's the bright lichtige Stern, the bright stars will be our witnesses.
The bright stars will be our witnesses. An oath for ever. For
Tears.
An oath of tears.
For tear, of course, full of tears. We pledge.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Tears.
Okay, Michael, can you move it? Okay, Hilda, can you read it, Hilda? As I said before, you are probably muted, so unmute yourself.
Okay, wir schweren Trajekt und Grenzen zum Bund. No erkennen die Sklaven befreien sind. Shall I translate as I go?
Yes, please go.
We swear a faithfulness, is it?
Yes, to be faithful, yes.
Faithful on Grenzen zum Bund without borders
Mhm.
or without end to the
Yes.
Bund. Nur kennt die Sklaven, however,
No, it's not however. Only he,
only he can Sklaven free the slaves now.
yes.
Sein von his flag, die Reute, the red one,
Mhm.
is hoich und is bright. The red flag is high and wide. Wir schwören a Freiheit, we swear a faith, or a true spirit, auf Leben und Tod, to life and to death. Schwur, a schwur, an oath, auf Leben und Tod, to life and to death.
Good, thanks. Good. Steve, yeah, I see that you raise your hand, Steve.
Just a quick question. I don't understand who that he refers to. Who the
It's
What's-
der
what-
Bund, it's not he.
It's
It's
it.
der Bund.
It's it, yeah.
Der
oh, I
Bund.
see. Okay.
It's it. Air is it, but here it's it, the Bund. Only the Bund
Only the
can
Bund.
free.
Thank you.
Okay. So, next. Okay, so Judy, can you read it, please? I think it's the first, like the first one. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same. Bruder und Schwester von Arbeit und Neut, alle was seinen zu seht und zu spreit, zusammen, die von sie ist great, sie flundert von Zeren,
Zorn, Zorn.
Pardon?
Sie flattert von Zorn.
Sie fluttert von Zorn, thank you. Von Blut is sie reut. A Shvua auf Leben und Teut.
Good.
Do you want, thank you.
You want us to translate it again, Maurice?
No, it's just again, sie flattert von Zorn. It's referring to the flag, right? It waves, it flutters from rage, the anger of the workers. Von Blut is sie reut. It's red from blood.
Okay. Beverly, yeah? Beverly?
Oh, yeah, I want to say that I think the Bund became the Workmen's Circle, and now the Workmen's Circle has changed their name since it was a male name, and now it's called the Workers' Circle. And they do have schools in New York, and I'm not sure where, that they teach Yiddish today.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, let's listen to it once again. I like the posters.
I do too.
Yeah, me too.
Posters are amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
They're very much like the Russian propaganda posters.
Exactly. You know, social realism. Socialism.
Brüder und Schwester von Arbeit und Neut, alle von seinen zu seht und zu spreit, zusammen, die von sie's greit, sie flattert von Zorn, von Blut ist sie reut, a Schwur, auf Leben und Tod. Brüder und Schwester von Arbeit und Neut, seinen zersägt und zerspreit. Zusammen, zusammen, die von sie's gerät. Sie flattert von Zorn, vom Blut ist sie reit. A Schwur, auf Leben und Tod. Himmel und Erde uns euch Herren, jedes wird sein, die lichtige Sterne. A Schwur, von Tränen, wir schweren, wir schweren, wir schweren. Wir schweren a Freiheit von Grenzen zum Bund. Doch erkenn dich Glocken befreien Zund. Sein von die Reute, is heuch und is breit. Wir schweren in Freiheit, auf Leben und Tod. A Schwur, auf Leben und Tod. Brüder und Schwestern von Arbeit und Neut, alle seinen zersägt und zerspreit, zusammen, zusammen, die von sie's gerät, sie flattert von Zorn, vom Blut ist sie reit, a Schwur, auf Leben und Tod.
Does anyone know who's singing, who she is? Moshe?
You are muted. Guys, all of you are muted, so when you speak, unmute yourself, please.
Does anyone know who's singing?
I don't remember, but if you just go on YouTube and you find that version, it'll probably tell you who it is.
I think it's Mina.
It's who? No, I was thinking quietly. Quietly, I was thinking, so yeah.
I think her last name is Seawald or something like that. Seawald, maybe she's from France or Germany. Okay.
Maybe.
Her voice is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
I want to
comments?
say that the cover is typical of things printed in that era. It was a very serious song and it was a serious political statement. And so that's why you see this stance.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, yes, Maurice.
Yeah, I just want to say that in connection with Yom HaShoah, many Bundists took part in the resistance against the German occupation. In the Vilna, in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, many Bundists organized and fought. And, you know, the movement died out, but they made an important contribution.
There is a nice documentary about the Bundist that was done in Israel, but I think it has subtitles, and I think it's called The Bundist.
Maybe.
It's it's about the last of the Bundists alive that are still convening and still, you know,
Sure.
talking revolution and whatever, yeah. So if I will find it, I'll send it to you.
I think his name was Marek Edelman. He was a Bundist leader in, I think, in Warsaw. And I think he survived the uprising. And I think he survived the war. He was a major organizer against the Germans.
Okay, Marie, please.
Yeah, I have a question for all of you knowledgeable people. My Bubba in Bessarabia was definitely a part of some kind of a possibly socialist group where they became educated, they read books, and that's how they knew to get out early, you know, right after the big pogrom. were there, I assume it must have been the Bund, but I never asked because I was too young to know what to ask. Were there other groups that were as big as the Bund, or was this really,
There were
was
a
it?
lot, yeah, there were a lot of activist groups before the Nazi invasion. The whole spectrum from left to right, Zionists, socialists, many such groups. But the Bund was really, I think, the most successful in in local politics before the war. So you had Bundists, where they were allowed to. They ran for city council, for mayor. Some of them were in the Polish parliament, the same, SEJM. So they were. It was probably the movement that was
Most active?
most active locally.
And they had study groups and
Sure.
Yes,
Schools,
yes.
schools,
That's how,
probably it was that.
summer camps, the Medem Sanatorium. It was
All kinds of things.
it wa-
Okay.
It wasn't just a political party. It was kind of an umbrella to help, working class Jews.
Okay, thank you.
Beverly?
Yes, there's a movie, Image Before My Eyes. It's in English. And I think they cover a lot of what the Bund did, especially summer camps and for TB people. It was an amazing organization. Image Before My Eyes. You can get it, I think. It's in English.
Okay, thanks. Any more comments or stories before we move to our story?
What year you talking about? My parents came to Israel in 1930.
No, that's before, Neely. That's before. They were still active in 1930, but that was before. I think, what did you say, Maurice, when the Bund was 1897?
1897, right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but all the way up to like World War I at least, right?
Yeah, also to World War II. Yeah.
World War II. So
yeah.
it went on for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, during my father's time, when Poland was Russia and Poland was Poland and Yugoslavia, they sabotaged any attempt when the troops came in to gather the Jews and either put them in the army or throw them in jail or whatever. So they were saboteurs also, along with their educational program and brotherhood.
Okay.
Were they considered communist or socialist?
Yes, socialist. Definitely socialist. There was a big fight in the United States when the communists in the 30s tried to take over the Arbiterring branches and turn them into communist branches, and they succeeded in some instances. But we fought like hell in the South, and they did not succeed with us.
One of the ironic points about this, that they call themselves socialists, but some of them at a certain point defected to the communist movement. And two of the leaders, they were Alter, I'm trying to remember their names, Victor Alter. Anyway, they were invited to come to the Soviet Union to try to convince them. And when they got there, they were arrested right on the spot. They were thrown in jail, tortured, and whatever else. Then when Stalin decided, well, actually, we need to support from the outside world, especially Jews in the outside. So he let them go. And then, I don't know, a year later, he arrested them again because of his shifting paranoia, and he murdered them. So for a lot of those who considered themselves socialists, Bundists, it was a terrible, terrible thing. And wow. Anyway, it's a sad story.
Okay, for more about the Bund, I send you a link to the Ivo encyclopedia, and I think that Rafael just put the same link in the chat. Yes, Rafael? I think so.
Well, my link is to the YIVO archives, which has a
the
short
YIVO.
description also of the Bund.
Okay, so you have now two links if you want to learn more about the Bund, and there's a lot to learn. Barbara and Marie.
So I just was remarking to Marie because her remarks about her grandmother, is that right? Sort of piqued my memory, and I may be totally wrong, but I told her to look up the Tarbut movement also in the Pale of Settlement. It was not a workers' movement. It was a movement of education, and they established schools and camps, libraries. And they actually operated in Uzbekistan during the war. So it's something to also look up and see the contributions of that movement. And if you remember, my sister-in-law, Joan Goldstein, was on for a while, and her grandfather was quite a mover and shaker in the Tarbut movement, and eventually was in Israel. That's where he, moved and completed his life in Israel. So I just mentioned the Tarbut movement.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mariv?
This has nothing to do with Yiddish, but it does have to do with this conversation. Has anybody seen the French movie? In English, it's called Red Kiss or Rouge Baiser in French. I highly, highly, highly recommend. It's about probably a Bundist family in Paris. And someone they know went to Russia, probably with Maurice, what you were talking about, and comes back to tell them how he was treated, and they're all horrified, that this has happened. Anyway, it's a French communist Jewish family or an organization in Paris, a real eye opener about how things might have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are interested, check out the movie. Okay, so let's move on to the story, and the story will get us more into the Bund. So share screen. Okay, so the story was written by Miriam Raskin, and it's not the first time that we are reading stories by her, because for the simple reason that I just love her stories, so I keep bringing them. So I think that's the third or fourth story by her that we are reading. So I sent you a link to who she is. She was born, well, I have it here on my iPad, born in White Russia in 1889. She participated in the 1905 Russian Revolution, served a year in prison for that, and then emigrated to the United States in 1920, where she started publishing stories and books. So a lot of her stories and books are about the Bund, the other socialist movement, and just simple, plain people. You don't, in a lot of her stories, there is nothing happens. It's just like it's like a tableau. It's like a tableau. It's like a photograph of someone, of his life or her life or something like this. So I think and it's very quiet. Her stories have a quietness to it. So you will see when we read it, because really nothing happens. She just describes a life. So I find it really, really interesting and really moving. So, and this was published in 1941. It doesn't say that it was written in 1941, just published then. And it's called a Träumer, a dreamer. So, Susan, can you start reading, please? A Träumer.
Is gewesen der laundryman von West Street. He was the a laundryman from West Street.
Okay, sorry, Susan, just something else that you will find in her stories. A lot of what is called English. A lot of English words that, yeah, what you call English with a Y. So please, Susan, sorry.
A verlosene Gas in Brooklyn, kind of not the best street in Brooklyn. Und in a später Abend, wenn von sein Store haben passentlich sich gezeugen über der verschlufener Gas, hat man gekannt sein, wie steht übergebeugen über ein Pack von brudige Wäsch mit a Papyrus in Vinkl von Meul und zählt und sortiert die Stücke. Oh, long one.
Okay, so go back. And
in a later evening, when then there were beams of light from his store that went over the street, so it must have been at night. Yeah.
Late evening, yeah.
You could have seen with the way he stands bent over a pack of a bunch of dirty clothes with a cigarette in a corner of his mouth when he counts and sorts the pieces. Sein Aussehen is demnächst gewesen, wie ist reingetun, nicht in der Arbeit, nor in sich allein. And the way he looked.
His look.
His looks, would you say?
His looks, yeah, the way he looked.
The way he looked was then like he was clothed, not in that he was not in the middle of his work, but just by himself.
It's like he was, he looked into himself, like
his
like
appearance.
an introvert, yeah.
He looked inwardly.
He looked inwardly. He was contemplating.
Yes.
So he was busy
Okay.
sorting dirty laundry.
Yeah, so just a moment, I see that Brenda raised her hand. So Brenda? You're still muted.
Muted.
Yeah,
Okay, now,
good.
Brudeke, bunch or dirty?
Dirty.
Dirty, Brudeke, I think.
Okay, go on, Susan.
Leib Minsky is sein Nomen gewesen. His name was Leib Minsky. Amol is in der weiter Liete hat durchgelebt a stormige Jugend. In the past, in faraway Lita, he went through a very stormy youth. Ist gleich von der Yeshiva-Bank umgekommen in der Partei von Bund. He went from the bench in the yeshiva directly to the Bund party.
Wow.
No?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Und heroisch geführt die gefährlicher unterirdische Arbeiten vor der Revolution. And he immediately, from the yeshiva, we said that, and he
heroically.
So, and heroically, he led the terrible underground, the underground,
Dangerous.
The
Most
dangerous.
dangerous.
the dangerous underground work for the revolution.
Mhm.
Er is in Turme gesessen, and he sat in prison, und in Sibir gewesen, and he was sent to Siberia. It's seinen ihm die Haar stark grau. Now his hair has become gray, wie mit a Frestel verzeugen, as though covered by a chilly frost. Und die Backen bleich und eingefallen, and his cheeks pale and sunken. Nor in die Augen hat sich a Läuterkeit nor gehalten, but in his eyes there was still a lightness, wie wollt noch itzt gewesen, beheucht mit der Ideal von sein Jugend. But in his eyes there was a lightness shown, as though he was now raised to his ideal, to the ideal from his youth. The structure is very complicated.
Complicated, yes.
Yeah.
The structure is complicated. Yes, you're right.
The whole thing.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
whole story, but it's such beautiful use of language. You just
Yeah.
can't translate it very well.
It's just you have to feel it. I don't know.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
feel your stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Rafael, please.
You have to see it. It makes you see it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to
Rafael?
interject. This is why my father came to the United States, because in each cell, I think I've told this story before, when they were arrested, they all gave the same name, the name of the leader of that cell. So the government didn't know who the real person was.
So they
And
did.
he
I
had
am
been
Spartacus.
arrested
Yes.
and was going to be arrested again and could be conscripted into the army. So he fled Poland.
Okay. Thank you, Henrietta. Rafael, I saw that you raised your hand before.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that Läuterkeit, Läuter means pure. So Läuterkeit is purity or clarity.
Okay. Okay, so now it makes more sense. Yeah, that there was a clarity in his eyes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. Brenda?
Ich will proeven.
Okay.
Aber das meiste ist sehr schwer.
Was kann ich machen? Ich will bringen a Thema. You see,
Ja.
the Thema ant is the Bund.
Ja.
Also, yes.
Ja, es macht nicht so, ich will proeven.
Okay.
Die Customer von Gas haben ihm gerufen Schlamazel. The customers in the street called him, how do you translate Schlamazel?
Schlemazel. Schlemazel is the Schlemazel.
Okay.
A ne'er-do-well. A ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well?
Yeah.
Okay. Close enough. Und wir werden.
Nein. Und Philosoph.
Oh, ich habe. Okay.
Das gespringen, Nashira.
Ja, und Philosoph alle Montag und Donnerstag ist bei ihm verfallen geworden a Stück Wäsche. So every Monday and Thursday, verfallen.
Lost.
Lost.
Hopeless.
Lost.
Okay, lost. In this case, lost. Okay, lost. Gewähren, a piece of wash. Dem
An item of wash.
A stick is a piece.
An
item of laundry.
Item, yeah, a piece, an item of the laundry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dem hat verbitten männliche Hemd und in anderen hat gefällt Verhandel zum Port. So let's see. He had forbidden, not changed.
Yeah.
No,
Exchanged. Exchanged.
Okay. Man's shirt.
Yes.
And in other times, in London, he lost a Verhängel. Ich weiß nicht Verhängel.
A curtain.
Was?
Only one. Refoil say it.
It's a curtain.
A curtain. Okay.
Okay.
So zum Port. So the whole curtain?
No, no.
One of a pair.
One of the panels.
So the pair, one of the panels
One
of
of
the
the
curtain.
panels, right.
Because
Okay.
with the curtain, usually you have like two openings.
Yeah.
So one was okay and the one he lost.
Weiber seien gekommen und in store schreien. So wives came into the store screaming. Hat sie geantwortet mit der am I on the right line? Let me see.
Yes.
Vortragenem Eisen. Okay, so he answered with a Trogonym. Ich weiß nicht Trogonym. Eisen is appearance.
Okay, so Refoil, he raised his hand, so he will also explain this.
Yeah, Vertragen here would be kind of like absent-minded. But I also wanted to point out why Monday and Thursday.
That's the Aliyah La Torah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so
That
it
is-
comes, so you get the expression every Monday and Thursday, meaning often.
Yeah, it's very
Ah,
yeah.
thank you. Yes, my mother used to say in Yiddish, alle Montag und Donnerstag.
Yeah, alle Montag and Donnerstag, yeah.
So does that come from the market days?
No, the
from the
Torah
Aliyah.
reading days.
From what?
The days of reading Torah.
Oh,
Wir
the days
gehen
of
in Schule rein. Wir gehen in Schule rein. Montag und Donnerstag.
Although Rochelle is right, when I lived in Europe, when I lived in Germany, Monday and Thursdays were the market days.
Okay.
She's right. That's
Because
something
we were
else.
secular, we didn't go to shul.
Yeah, but you're right. Monday and Thursday were, were market days, at least in Germany. Well, also
And so what's this about going to shul? Why would you go to shul on Monday and Thursday?
Okay, Refoil, please answer her.
They were closed Tuesday and Wednesday.
No, it's not because it's closed. Actually, the connection with market days is right. Apparently, what happened back in the times of the Mishnah, we're talking about the year 1 and 200 of the Common Era, the market days were Monday and Thursday. And that was therefore the day when people would be out and about. And because of that, it became the custom to read Torah in shul also on Mondays and Thursdays. And that particular custom has been preserved. And still, the Torah reading for the coming Shabbos, the first part of it, is read on Mondays and Thursdays in shul. Now, the shul is open whenever the shul is open, and different shuls have their own schedules.
So
But
it's like a pre-reading of what you're going to read on Shabbos as well.
that's right. And that's done Saturday afternoon and Monday and Thursday morning.
Oh.
Who
knew?
Yeah, Cookie, yes.
There was a word for prison. I know the word for prison as tfissa. From a song.
That was Turme. Turme is also.
Turma?
Turme. That's also prison, yeah. And
Thank
here it was Turme, yeah.
Turma. And tfissa.
You can use this, you can use that. Either one are okay. Yeah.
But tfissa is also Yiddish.
Tfissa is also Yiddish, it's also Hebrew. It comes from Hebrew. Yeah, the word is tfissa, and yeah. Okay, thank you, Brenda. It was-
You know,
Yeah.
Anshalik, you
Sure.
said that you can see what you love about
Yes,
writer is you can
I can visualize it.
and
I
you can see the women screaming when he made the mistakes.
Yeah, I can visualize it. I don't know about other people. I can.
Yeah.
I can also.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Okay, thank you, Brenda. Rafael, please go on.
Sha, was ist da seins? This is his answer. Be at peace. What you're worrying about?
What's the big deal?
Exactly. Met euch umkehren dem Hezek. We will give you back whatever the damages were. Was hat in sein Jugend schon gewusst von hechere und wichtigere Inyanim, hat sich nicht gekannt stellen auf Kleinigkeiten. He, who in his youth had known about higher and more important matters, he was unable to think about these small things. Selten, wenn Customer hat ihm herausgebracht von Geduld. It was seldom that a customer could actually bring him to anger or to get to patience. Seiden einmal a Yidne, a Kriegerke, maybe sometimes, or except perhaps a woman who would be fighting, is im Schein zu viel der Gangen die Jahren, and who annoyed him too much. Demals hat sich zerschrien auf ihr. At that point, he would shout at her. Gesagt, was denkt, wegen ihr, und als darf ihr nicht haben für a customer. He would tell her what he thinks of her, and that he no longer needs her as a customer. Sein Blechponem is demals belebt geworden. At that point, his pale face would grow lively. Und in die Augen hat der amoliker, aktionistiker Feierl von sein Jugend sich bewiesen. And at that point, in his eyes, you could see the
Stubborn.
The previous, from times gone by, his stubborn, the fire of his youth. In Gas is demolst gewen al Jahren. We mentioned seinen ungelaufen, wie auf a Wunder. In the street at such points, there was a commotion, and people would run up like to see a Wunder, a strange occurrence. Bis sein Weib hat sich der Wurst is gekommen zu laufen von der Dire, until his wife got wind of it, and she would come running from their apartment. Was is Iber der Store gewen, which was over the store. Sie hat eingestellt die Schreiendicke und gemacht a talk. She stilled the shouting folk, and she made some sort of an order.
Okay, someone had to run the store. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Rafael. Thank you. Naomi, will you continue? Here, Celia, Naomi.
Okay. Celia, sein Weib, sein Chaverte.
Just a minute, what is Liorum?
Meuma.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Celia, sein Weib, sein Chaverte, hat in einem mit ihm getragen dem Joch von sehr eurem Leben. Gehodet die Kinder und herausgeholfen ihr Mann in Store. So Celia, his wife, his partner maybe, or his companion, I don't know. Oh, okay. Hat in einem together with him carried the a yoke. How do you
yoke?
A yoke. Oh, okay. From their poor life. Gehodet die Kinder looked after the children, und geholfen ihr Mann and helped helped her husband in the store. In der Jugend ist sie in eine mit ihm in der Partei von Bund gewesen und noch gegangen mit ihm leben in Sibir. In their youth, she went with him together she was with him in the party together, the party of the Bund, and followed him to live in Sibir. Nor Celia is damals, nor a Masove.
A Masove, just a moment. Masove, what I found out, it's Russian, and a Masovik says that cheerleading at political parties, which means that she was not taking an actual part in the party, like organization or life, but she was from the side. She was cheerleading from the side. So that's a Masove. Sorry, Maurice.
A sympathizer.
A sympathizer.
Okay. Nor Celia ist damals nur a Masove gewesen und kein ernste Arbeit in der Bewegung hat man ihr nicht vertreut. Celia at that time but Celia at that time was only I guess a follower, maybe,
a sympathizer.
A sympathizer. And she wasn't a serious. She wasn't kein ernste Arbeit in der. She didn't participate in any serious work. Hotman ihr nicht.
Okay, go on.
Hotman ihr nicht vertreut. They didn't give her any serious, maybe responsibility or something. I don't know what's vertreut.
They didn't trust her with any serious work. So that's what's interesting. Why didn't they trust her with any serious work? What was the problem? We don't know.
Okay, ich seien bei ihr in Kopf verblieben noch sticklich Gedanken wegen Revolution ausgemischt in eine mit ein bisschen verbliebene Frömmkeit. Okay, so now it remains in her head, verblieben noch sticklich, pieces, bits, Gedanken, bits of memories, I guess, or reminders about the revolution, ausgemischt in eine, mixed together with a little bit of remaining Frömmkeit. Okay, so she's maybe after these nicht a pure Bundist, a little bit of Frömmkeit.
Exactly. She was a bit of this and a bit of
that. Okay. Und als sie hat sich einmal ein Voice mit der Gott zu danken, verschämt sie sich bald vor ihr aufgeklärten Mann. Okay, so when it grabs her, when all of a sudden she comes out of her Gott zu danken, or thank God, verschämt sie sich bald. She immediately is embarrassed for him, or for her aufgeklärten Mann. What's aufgeklärten?
Enlightened.
An enlightened husband. Okay. I read another story by this writer, something about a picnic. And
yes, we read it.
And she also mumbled the character Oliva Sholem or something, and then she puts her hand over her mouth. It's the same thing. Any expression that's anything to do with religion is a no-no in the Bund.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had the same experience. I went to the workman's circle. I wish somebody, not just a freilichen Pesach, a kosher Pesach. I mean, I come from a Talmud Torah school. This is what we say. Oh, that was a no-no. So I understand. I mean, I was from the receiving end. Like
so you understand what's going on here. Yeah.
From Celia. I was like the Celia, sort of, you know?
Okay, thank you, Naomi. And yeah, and we read the story of a picnic long ago, and it's really nice, but you know, it isn't. Here it is the combination with the bund that makes it even better. So, Marie, please.
Euch Celia's schwarz genevdig Punem liegt der Stempel von a schwer durchgegangenem Leben. Nur ihr Schmeckel ist ständig a harziger und a warmer. On Celia's dark, charming face there lies the stamp of having gone through a lifelong, difficult life, but her smile is always hearty and warm. I just want to say, Minna, this sentence is almost impossible to translate properly into English. It only works in Yiddish.
You just did it.
Yeah, but you have to use like 10 words to get the...
Yes.
But we were talking about how rich his language is. This is such a rich sentence. Anyway, Sie euch, azoi wie ihr Mann, schept ihre Heuches fin sehr amol. Heuches. She too, just as does her husband, derives or draws her strength from their past. Und ganz oft hat man gekannt sein, wie Mann und Weib verton mit etwas bom Counter und sie stehendig bom Pressbrett, singen bei der Stilligkeit das Lied von der Bewegung. This one was hard to translate too, but very often people could see how a husband and wife, while he is engrossed with something by the counter and she standing by the ironing board, both are singing quietly the songs from the movement.
You did it.
It's such gorgeous language. It's amazing.
You did it. Thank you, Marie. Rochelle, go on.
Yosher Koyach. Yosher Koyach.
Yosher Koyach. No, Shkoyach. They say
Shkoyach.
Okay. Rochelle, please.
Okay. A lieber mir haben geschlossen auf Leben und Tod erfahren. In love they joined in life and death. Von frühen Vermorgen bis späten in der Nacht ist sehr I'm hearing an echo. Is sehr opgewend für die Bequemlichkeit von Gas.
Bequemlichkeiten von Gas.
Bequemlichkeit von Gas. From early in the morning till late at night, their store was open for the Bequemlichkeit, for the comfort or convenience for the street, for the people. Emitzer kommt rein, überleinen a Zeitung. Somebody comes in and reads a newspaper, und andere kommt bargen kleiben Geld. And others come and bargain. Bargain. To borrow money. Okay. Noch einer kommt überlassen a Päckl, but somebody comes and leaves a package. Noch auf a Weile Kinder haben lieb zu
Just a moment, there is a dot, no of a violet. So someone comes and leaves the package just for a while, you know.
just for a while.
Who
Okay,
knows
they're
for
dropping
how
off a
long?
package.
Just for
Okay.
a while, yeah.
Okay. Kinder haben lieb zu spielen Ball grad bei die Fenster von sein store. And the kids like to play ball in front of the windows of his store. Ihm wird das nicht and then it didn't bother him. Wird sitzen beim Kanter vertieft in a Zeitung oder in an ernsten Buch. So he would sit at the counter, engrossed in the newspaper or in an important book.
Not important.
Serious.
Okay. As a keine wird Dämmel zu ihm verblongen. If a customer would at that time get lost.
I think
Wander in.
Wander in.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, you know, by chance.
By
wandering in.
chance, yeah. Wird ihm entfernen nicht gern. He would answer him not clearly.
No,
Not gladly.
Ihm gestärkt.
yeah, I think he will
sein-
not, yeah, Maurice, say it?
Yeah, he would not answer him gladly.
Oh, okay. Because he was deep in his thought.
Yeah, he's bothering him. The customer is
Yeah.
bothering him.
Und wird sein ihm abhören auf.
No, wir wollt ihm gestört. You just.
Oh, wir wollten gestört in sein Gedank. When he was interrupted or bothered in his, in his thinking, und wird sein ihm abhören auf Gier. I don't know that word. Oppatteren. Auf Gier. I don't know what oppatteren is.
To get rid of him.
Okay. Oh, Potter. Sein Potter. Okay.
So he will want to get rid of him quickly because he's bothering him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rochelle.
Thank
Anita,
you.
can you go on? Let me check if Anita is still online. Yeah, she's online.
Sehr heim, die zwei kleine Zimmerlach, was über der Star. Sehr heim. His home was the two small rooms that were over the store, above the store. Ist zu neu gestellt wie nur auf der Weil. It looked like it was placed or made just for a little while.
Just for now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Tilly, sein Weib, führt dort ständige Malachem? Milchume. Mit der Engschaft Umordnung. So his wife, Tilly, the wife, managed dort ständige
Firna Milchume, she is waging a constant battle.
Thank you. Mit der
Engschaft.
With I don't know, Engschaft is
crowded.
It's crowded and narrow. What other word is there?
So Mr. crowded
Crowded.
Chaos.
and
Chaos.
trying to
Disorder,
Disorder,
Disorder.
disorder, chaos.
Mordenung. Sie wollt wollen, ihr Haus soll Eponym wie bei Light. She wanted the house to look good, to have Eponym clean or I don't know.
Yes,
how
it's to look good. Yeah. Be
Uh,
by light.
She wanted it to be Balabatish.
Yeah, like with other people houses.
Respectable people.
All zugleich. I mean,
Sie will euch ihre Haus
Heilig.
was ihr kommt in Leben. Yeah, so she thinks that is something that she deserved in life. Und einmal ständig mit Mann in seiner Store proved sie verworfen Wort. Mit sich schon euch.
No, but translate it. Unamol.
Oh, unamol. And sometimes when she was standing in the store with his man, proved she she would put in a word.
She tries to say something. She tries to put a word forward. Okay. Thank you, Anita. Thank you. Good. Barbara, can you continue?
I'll try. Met zich schon euch gedarf darauf arbeiten auf größere Dere. Well, it sounds like she's very hesitant when she says this. We should really, start thinking about working towards a larger apartment. How do you translate it? Okay. Die Kinder wachsen unter, and the children are growing. Sie ist nicht kein, let's see, Chalila Azoy. Okay, is that right?
Ist nicht kein Tachles, also.
Oh, Tachlis. I thought it was a chet. Okay.
It's Tachlis.
It says Ganish kein Tachlis Azoy. So Tachlis means it's.
There's
I
no
forget
future.
the word.
There's no future in it.
Oh, Tachlis, no future. Okay. Thank you.
I thought Zukunft was future.
Yeah, I thought
future. Tachles
is an outcome.
Right.
Okay.
Tachles, yeah, it's more of an outcome. Yeah, there is
outcome. Yeah, Tachlis.
Nothing beyond it. There is nothing beyond.
Mama says, "What's the sign the Tachlis?"
Yeah, what's the Tachlis? Yeah.
It's like saying, is it like saying we're going nowhere, kind of?
Right.
Yeah. What will be the end result? What will be? Yeah.
Does it not mean also tachlis, like the essence of something?
Yeah, I
Essence,
always thought essence was
like
tachlis.
the basis, or get down to the nitty gritty.
To the tachlis, yeah.
Like the result.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll read a couple more sentences. Entfert vertrogene. So he answered her preoccupied. Mitten papyrus in Vinkl von Moyle with a cigarette in the corner of his mouth. It's very descriptive.
Yes.
Let's see. Roif arbeiten sich You want to work overtime, huh?
No, to work us
Pick
upward,
yourself up.
to work
Yeah,
ourselves up. Okay, you want to continue? or
No,
no?
you can call somebody else. Thank you, but no, for the
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay, Karen, please.
Es klingt zu ihm wie a Choisek. It seemed like he was being like a mockery.
Right.
Was hat keinmal zu lieb Geld nicht verbeugen kein Prinzip. What he never. What's the point of this sort of? What's the point of money leaning over without principle? What's? I think this is.
No. He that he never, because of money, he didn't cross or verbeugen. No.
Bent.
To bend, yeah, thank you. Bend
Oh.
is princip, und hat gone.
Principles. Principles.
My English is gone to now. Sorry. Go on, Karen.
Thank you. Und hat durch die alle Jahren aufgehalten die Reinkeit von sein Gewissen. And through all the years, he upheld, supported the purity of his conscience. Wird sich in Dollarland nicht beten. He didn't do dealings in dollar land or trade.
No. He's not now. He's not going to change himself in dollar land. Need Biden to change. He's not going to change himself. All the time he upheld himself and is conscious, and now he's not going to change.
Und seret sich demals wegen dem, and he launched into a conversation about it. Was men is geistig nicht stark genug, und men geht sich unter zu alle Winden von der Zeit. And that people are not strong enough. Their spirit is not strong enough, and they're not under all of the walls, the walls of time.
No,
they
the
are
winds
like,
of time.
Winds
They
of
are
time.
given.
Excuse me.
Give
The
in
winds
to
of
all
time.
the winds of the time.
The winds of time.
Yeah.
It's
It's a very difficult paragraph, Karen. It's really difficult.
Principles.
Redt mit Anigun. He spoke with a melody. Und sein Kohl klingt wie amol in der Jugend, and his voice sounded like once in his youth. Wenn hat in a Kreisel gelernt Sozialism, and when he was in a circle learning or teaching
Learning.
Socialism. Celia, sein Weib, versteht dem tiefen Singen von seiner Rede. She, Celia, his wife, understands the deep meaning of his speech. Sie schämt sich vor ihr Mann, vor was sie hat sich herausgewiesen, azoi kleinlach. She was ashamed of herself for what she had displayed, that she had displayed such smallness, such
Pettiness.
trifling.
Pettiness, trifling, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Karen. That was really a difficult.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you. Beverly, yes, I see that.
Well, you got to remember.
We will stop reading here, but yeah.
Right.
Beverly?
I just want to say, you have to remember that they expected gold in the streets when they came here and they didn't find it. So so disappointed.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Steve? Steve, I see that you.
Yeah. I just a quick question just for me. Celia is the name. I know it's a
Yes.
name.
Yeah.
Does it have a meaning apart from its name? Like the Ziesel is a name, but it also means like sweetness.
Celia is a Polish name. It's a Slavic name.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
know. I'm just wondering. It was my mother's original name before the border guard changed it for her. The customs man changed it for her from Celia to Sylvia. And I was just wondering if there was a meaning for it as a word.
I think it appears in the Bible.
It means
Does
if
someone
you-
here know? I think it appears in the Bible, Sila.
if you Google it, which is what I just did, it's a girl's name of Latin origin, meaning heavenly, but doesn't say Jew.
No.
Google it.
Doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right because it sounds it's an Hebrew name.
There is an English name, which is
Yes,
a very
an
old
English
English name,
name.
which is Celia.
No, Celia, I know, but that's
No.
But
that's
Sela,
not. It's. I don't think.
Sela is a Hebrew name.
It's a Hebrew name. Just
Right.
let me see
Yeah.
what I can find in Hebrew about it.
Well, I don't want
I
to.
had an aunt. I have an aunt named Celia, and her nickname was Silkala.
I could see.
My mother's
it gives
nickname
me
was Mom.
Chile. Okay.
Actually,
It is in the Bible. It is in the Bible. Sila is a biblical character, and she was the mother of Naamah and Tuval Cain, and the second wife of Lamech. So it's from Bereshit, Genesis.
Right.
Genesis. So the meaning is to be happy, is happiness, to be. Lily, how do you translate Rina?
Happiness.
To be happy, to be
Right. Positive.
something like this. So that's
Joyful,
Sila, and
positive.
it is biblical.
Thank you all. I appreciate that.
we're not
Okay.
finished.
Sorry? Okay.
No,
so
I said we're
Rochelle-
not finished. Obviously, people have more comments about it.
Yes, I see. Rochelle.
What did
Rochelle.
they change it? What did they change his mother's name to?
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, yeah, you know.
The image of the cigarette dangling from the corner of the mouth reminded me of Sundays when we went to my Aunt Selka's house, and my father and my uncles played pinochle, and they all sat there with the cigarette dangling in their mouth, smoke blowing in their eyes, and the cards in front of them, and the ashes falling.
Avada.
So I got that whole picture in my mind from that story.
Okay, thank you. Ellen? Ellen, I see your hand is
Yes,
up.
right. I just want to make sure I'm understanding the story because I had to get up and if I don't pay attention every second, I get totally famished. So this is a man who was dedicated